it's the celebrations, dance and music. The theme in Sydney when Prime Minister Modi addressed the Indian diaspora at a massive event. While Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese welcomed Prime Minister Narendra Modi, hailing him as the boss, Prime Minister Modi addressed the enthusiastic 20,000-strong crowd amid loud cheers. Speaking to the Indians in Australia who had arrived from across the country, Prime Minister Modi said that the two countries were bound by mutual trust and respect, and also spoke on how cricket and food brings them together. Prime Minister Modi is in Australia for the third and final leg of his three-nation tour. He is visiting the nation as a guest of the Australian government.
आज दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी और सबसे युवा टैलेंट फैक्ट्री जिस देश में है वो है सही जवाब दे रहे हैं आप, वो है इंडिया। हमारे यहां खाना बनाने का तरीका भले अलग अलग है, लेकिन अब मास्टर शेफ हमें जोड़ता है।
I said to my friend, the Prime Minister, before, the last time I saw someone on the stage here was Bruce Springsteen, and he didn't get the welcome that Prime Minister Modi has got. Prime Minister Modi is the boss. It is a connection that I feel here tonight. And once again, I feel so grateful to be a part of it. Your million-strong community has contributed so much to this country. The people here tonight, your families, your communities, will always be the lifeblood of the relationship that India and Australia share.
Truly incredible here tonight. I've never seen a political leader be able to have a conversation with 20,000 people. It was truly extraordinary. I'm so humbled and grateful that I was able to make it tonight.
Oh, it was so the crazy. Vibe was so good, so exciting, so enriching.
Yeah, if you would have seen the performance, we were performing on Wagyu Dhol. We were here at 8 a.m. in the morning, so we've been practicing, and the whole atmosphere was so crazy.
Yeah.
This was an incredible opportunity for the Indian diaspora to see the leaders of our Janmabhoomi as well as our Mathrubhumi to be in the same room and to hear the aspirations, the vision that Prime Minister Modi ji has for India. I think for the people in this room was an incredibly powerful experience.
What an extraordinary night, full of energy, full of entertainment, extraordinary atmosphere and buzz here. A great night for the Indian diaspora and all the Australian community.
And to discuss how important is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Australia, I'm joined by former Ambassador Anil Trigunayat here with us here at Mirror Now. Well, Mr. Trigunayat, thank you for taking your time and joining us here at Mirror Now. Good evening, sir. I'll go on to ask you, is that, this is not the first time around we have seen the Prime Minister being on international tour. But what is going to be the significance and the impact of this particular visit to Australia? Because the bonhomie that Anthony Albanese and the Prime Minister shares, that was for everybody to see.
Well, you are absolutely right, Samia. Prime Minister Modi has this tremendous quality to connect with people, be they Indians, Indian origin, or the foreigners. And among the foreign leaders, I think there is some kind of a race to look at him and who can praise him a bit more. That shows how much respect he has earned for himself and for India in the last 9-10 years that he has been on this political scene. Prime Minister Modi, as far as Australia is concerned, in 2014, that was his first visit. And in less than a decade, he's coming, and the relationship with Australia that used to have its own trouble spots has moved into a truly strategic and comprehensive partnership, which is often defined by democracy, defense, diaspora, and dosti. I mean, that was the word used by the High Commissioner of Australia to India. I mean, I think that there is tremendous, and now he's talking about the chef and cricket and Commonwealth, and those are the kind of things that there is a binding which is going on. Indian community there, which is very strong, and 20,000 of them turned up today, shows the kind of strength and the affection that they have for India. I mean, that is something that also conveys to the Australian leadership the kind of clout, I would say, with the people Prime Minister of India enjoys. So there is a relationship. On the other hand, as you know, that uh, any country, for that matter, pursues its own interests as a part of its foreign policy. Everything else remains as a display of the soft power. But in this case, especially in the last few years, we have really taken it to a next level, both in the security dimension as well as in the politico-economic dimension. In view of the changing geopolitics that is happening there, we had signed this comprehensive economic partnership agreement with Australia, and that is seeking to have $35 billion trade, taking it to at least $100 billion trade. That's the target. Now, that is a very big deal. India's nearly over 90% of India's exports will become duty-free, and market access will be ensured, and likewise, Australia will also do the same to India. Investments will increase, greater confidence in each other's economy will increase, the markets, that will be increased. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship that is based on mutual trust, as you mentioned in the beginning, mutual interest and mutual respect. These are the three ideals that are very much evident there. Then we are also partners in Quad, and Australia Prime Minister Modi had the Quad meeting in Japan. He had met Prime Minister Albanese, but the fact that after that meeting and all, he traveled all the way to Australia to meet with the community, to meet with, in a bilateral format with Prime Minister Albanese and the Australian, I would say the businessmen, the people from the culture, people from different walks of life in Australia, whom he has been individually meeting. I think that is something that there is a strategy that is operating exactly how to maximize the benefit for India. I think that's what Prime Minister Modi is doing.
Mr. Trigunath, the Prime Minister spoke about a youth key factory while you're talking about the interdependence and how the bond is only going to get bolstered with the Prime Minister visiting Australia right now. He's honored the promise he made to Albanese when Albanese was visiting India. Can you elaborate upon how is this going to be impacting India's position globally? Because this is a G20 year for India. The G7 has just concluded, where Prime Minister was also present in Japan. It sends a message across to the other international forums and other countries as well, with whom India has also been engaging diplomatically.
Well, I must say that when he met, and you must have seen it, must have reported about when he met Mr. Biden, President Biden in Japan. And what did President Biden say? That I should take your autograph. You are the most popular leader. I'm having a problem in people who wanting to come to when he goes in June for the dinner that he's hosting. So I think that that shows that the Prime Minister Modi has a tremendous appeal across the world, not only here. More importantly, this year we are not only chairing the G20 in September, but we are also chairing the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is also a very important organization. In addition, that during the pandemic, India had done what no other country had done. We not only talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, but we show it in action. That one world, one family, one future, that has become the motive for this, or the theme of our G20 presidency, which the world knows it. More importantly, he has also clearly shown, and you must have seen during his visit to Papua New Guinea, where Prime Minister James Marape not only coronated him with the highest honor, but at the same time, he also said that he's a leader of the global south. And that's what India really is aiming at, or is going to look after the interest of most of the world, developing world, that is not able to take care of its own interests or take it to the position where India, in its position today, being the largest democracy, the largest country in terms of population, and as he mentioned about the talent factory, because we have the largest youth dividend in our country. So that's very clearly evident. Then we are also a country which is space and nuclear power. So you have nearly every ingredient that takes to you being the largest market in the world, a choice that the countries are exercising a great deal and looking Indian opportunity in greater detail. I mean,
Yes.
that is something I believe is what gives India and its people the heft that they are looking forward to. And that's what Prime Minister Modi very clearly articulates abroad. And in his persona, he displays it with such great confidence. And that's amazing, I must say.
Absolutely, Mr. Trignaya. Thank you for joining us here at Mirror Now as we wrap this conversation on the Prime Minister Modi's visit to Australia that is only going to fortify India's relations with Australia. Thank you for sharing your views on the subject.